This is a story about a name. Originally, it was the name of a place that very well might have become a backwater in the 1950s. But that town lent its name to a company. That company put the town on the map.
I remember when I first drove with my dad up to Grass Valley, 4 hours north of San Francisco, just outside Nevada City. The road winding through those dry brown hills of gold country. I was 10 years old and happy, out of school a week early. We drove past the welcome sign, people playing 'neath the pines, heard the music floating from the stage. Pitched our tent and walked around, my heart open to the sound. I didn't know it then, but my life had turned a page. Standing around jamming to the sounds of Little Annie, baptized in the campgrounds of Grass Valley.
Many convey a story through their t-shirts. This is a story that would take hundreds of t-shirts. The author had no idea how complicated the story was when he started. As with any pitch, it should allude to the story. Actually, this book has two pitches. The story's first pitch. There's a small town in Northern California, and if you work in the television production industry, you probably know the name of that town. You don't necessarily know it as a place. But as a vendor of very high-end television production equipment, the name of that town is Grass Valley. The second pitch, which covers the second half of the book. There's a company in Montreal that has facilities all around the world. That took the name of a small town in Northern California. The name of that company? Grass Valley. How are both true? This is a story about how a town changed television and lost its legacy in the process. How did this odyssey get its start, you ask? Gold mining. Not mining itself. It took a mine owner who provided funding for a new hospital for the area back in the 30s. The building was never completed due to a shortage of steel and cement with the start of World War II. It was never used as a hospital. That building sat unfinished until the early 50s. It was a serendipitous reuse of that building by an early Silicon Valley pioneer that set the stage for our story. This is a man who moved his company into that building. He launched one of the early Silicon Valley high-tech companies in the Bay Area. He was a physicist at heart who wanted to get back to a simpler life. He sold the vast majority of his company and kept only a small glass lathe manufacturing group, and moved it to the Sierra foothills. He completed the would-be hospital building and moved his much-reduced operation into it. From that building in the late 50s would launch what was known internally as the Group. They added Grass Valley to the name a bit later. It was that miner who inadvertently led a Silicon Valley pioneer to entice a third man to the area. The back of that t-shirt would have that man, Dr. Donald Hare. He not only transformed the town, but an industry also. Hare's company was a hand-to-mouth operation, even after they moved into Litton's building. Hare and Company designed and built whatever clients would pay for. Eventually, they settled mainly on audio amplifiers. While Litton and Hare had been classmates at Stanford and were initially allies in Litton's building, a falling out ensued and the Grass Valley Group, as they were now known, had to find new digs.
Bought 80 acres on Bitney Spring Road, and we put up building 1. And here we were with a nice building, a nice 80 wooded acres, beautiful place. Not one damn bit of business.
To help pay the bills, the group got into simple video products. It paid better than audio equipment.
Audio has never had the glamour that television has. It's been around a long time. And there are an awful lot of cutthroat operations going on in audio, and the prices were low. You couldn't get anything out of it. Television was a different deal. It was much more sophisticated, and there were more stupid people in television than there were in audio, and that's part of the philosophy of the operation.